as Dash of Dave. He'll take some scraps and bits of this, turn them into something you can't miss. Junk journals, tapes, and crafts galore. He'll have you begging, show me more. Oh, Dash of Dave, oh, what a sight. Mixing colors, day and night.
Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here, and I'm back for another crafty video. So, today we are going to make what I have called the 50 folio. And the reason for that is it's the 50th folio in the series of one-sheet wonders. So basically we could call it, well, the whole thing we could call 52 sheets of wonder, couldn't we? Based on a, well, not based, it's certainly not based, not based on a racy novel, but it's, you know, it's, the name is... Should we just get on with it? Yeah, let's do that. So this one is, so all of my series, so all 50 so far, and I've got another 2 more to do, which I've got waiting in the wings to have their debut. Most of them have been created from my mind. I know, scary, the weird place that my mind is. And some of them have been created from other people, inspired by other people. And if they have been inspired by other people, I have given those people kudos, which I think we should do. We all should. So if somebody makes from, you know, your creations or is inspired by your creations, you should really thank them, because, you know, if they hadn't have been there, you'd have been stuck. And this one is inspired by. So it's only a very slight change compared to the original maker. So the original maker is Alyssa from Very Little Papercraft. Now, she's not somebody I've watched before. She's just somebody that came up. It recommended to me because I do one-sheet wonders. It recommended me, you know, that I watch this. I liked what she made, and I wanted to give her kudos. So thank you very much, Alyssa. If you hadn't have been there, couldn't have done it without you. Coming up with 52 different ideas is a bit hard when you're on your own. So thank you very much to Alyssa. This is inspired by you, and I've only tweaked it very slightly. Now, Alyssa does say that this is a great one for making from a single single-sided sheet of 12 by 12. So that's what I'm going to use today. Alyssa has much cleaner crafts than I do. Very pretty. She certainly doesn't have dirty fingers like I do. This is because I'm always got my fingers in paint, so, or stain or something. So I don't have some kind of tropical disease. You're fine. So anyway, let's get on with it, and I will show you what to do. So first of all, you're going to need a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, and I have a piece here. So as you can see, this is a single-sided. This one wasn't, but it's, you know, this project actually works for single-sided or double-sided, doesn't matter, entirely up to you. Now, she does say also it works best if you use something with no orientation to it, so a multi-orientation page. I don't have any of that, so I'm working with what I've got. So mine does have an orientation, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It will look beautiful regardless. So first of all, you're going to cut this sheet down to 12 by 7.5. So this is obviously 12 is one direction anyway. So we will go with let's start with it this way round. Let's start with the correct orientation and then go downhill from there. So we're going to do it 7.5, Dave. That's not 7.5. That is. So cut that down to 7.5. You're going to put that to one side because we're going to come back to it. And then you're going to turn this one round, and we're going to cut this down to 7.5, which it already is, by 9. So across the 12-inch side edge, you're going to cut this down to 9. That's 9. Okay, we're going to take that off, and we're going to come back to that shortly. What you're going to do is, I'm just going to move these out of the way. You're going to fold this over in half. Now, this measures 9, so you could get your scoreboard out. I do have a little one here, so I shall use that. You could get your scoreboard out, pop it on here, and score it at 4.5, or if you don't have a scoreboard, or you just, you know, want to save some time, you could just fold it in half. So I'm going to fold mine in half. So when you're folding in half, what you want to make sure is your corners line up and your middle bit does. Hold it down, and then first of all press to the middle, and then press out from the sides, out to the side, sorry, and then you can get a nice scoring tool and just put that score in. Okay, so you're going to keep that, and it's going to be this way round, so it's going to be an opening on the left hand side, and we'll find out why when we come to it. So I'll pop that out of the way. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 3, that measures 3 inches, so we'll just check it on here, 3 by 7.5, and we're going to take it and we're going to turn it round to this orientation, so you've got the 7.5 across the top, and then you're going to score this. I'm just going to get my, that's better for making score, like making it flat. This is better for scoring into the board, so that's the reason I have to. Okay, so we're going to score this at 2.5 and 5. So across to 2.5, and then across to 5. Okay, so we're not going to score these like as in fold them. What we're going to do is we're just using those lines to indicate where we want to put some glue. These are going to form your 3 pockets, okay, that are going to stick to here. Okay, so we want to put some divots in there to indicate them as pockets. So we're just I'm going to eyeball it. If you want to measure, you can do that. Remember that it's 2.5, each pocket measures 2.5. Okay, so you just find the middle of the 2.5. I'm just going to take the divot out. In fact, I'm going to use this line as a nice guide for trying to get them all fairly even, like an even depth. That doesn't mean say it'll work, I'm just saying I'm going to try. So, and then final one. Okay, because I am a junk journaler, I'm going to ink it. If you don't want to ink it, you don't have to ink it. I'm not going to make you. Nobody's going to throw you out of the Crafters Guild. I don't think we have a Crafters Guild, to be fair. I think that might be a bit orange, Dave. We'll go with brush corduroy because it's here for no other reason. So yeah, you don't need to ink it, but I like to ink because that's just me. So I'm going to ink it. I also find that I think if you ink something and you're using the same colour card, when you place it on top of something, you can see the edges that you're indicating there's a pocket here. It can blend in, otherwise it can be a bit like camouflage, or where's Wally, where's pocket. So I'm just going to ink around these edges, and you can do whatever your heart desires, but I'm inking. I'm just going to ink down the back as well, just dragging it. Okay. And whilst I'm not actually going to fold it, I am going to bend it and just do between the pockets, just to indicate that there are pockets there. Again, something you don't need to do, but I chose to do. Okay, and so there we go. But I did think that was a great tip, and thanks again, Alyssa, for that. I doubt if Alyssa will watch this. She's got more followers than I have, so she's probably never going to see this, but you know, I like to give my kudos to everybody. So once we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this back in. Let's just ink this first before I do anything else. Doesn't have to be as inky, this one. It's just something in the background. And again, you're not going to see this bit, but you will see the very edge, so I'm going to make sure I catch that white edge. Let's just put a little bit more ink on that. The world needs more kindness, so saying thank you to somebody for inspiration is a great start. You know, wouldn't it be a nicer world if we all just thanked each other a little bit more, or were grateful for the people's existence and the like? So on that subject of liking and thanking and being grateful, don't forget to give this a thumbs up. If you're not already following, don't forget to give me a follow. You know, I'd love you to join my crafty community. I do have a Ko-fi as well, where you can help, you know, financially if you want to, or just go there and grab some of the freebies that I've made and created for you. Okay, so once we've got this, remember this is we're having it with a left opening, okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a line of glue across the top. Well, we would if my glue wanted to come out. Hello, it's me. In there, come on, just wiggle. Right, okay, try again. So, line of glue, hurrah, across the top and across the bottom. Obviously you can take your time and have a bit more of a steady hand across the back, and then across where you've put the score lines. That guide should help you give you a nice straight line, although the edges didn't help me very much. So across there, and then we're going to stick there, turn this over, I'm going to stick it to the left hand side with the fold. Remember, the fold's on the right, the open bit's on the left, and we're going to stick it over to the left hand side. Pop it down, just press it nicely in. There we go, that's all of those in. Okay, and now what we're going to do is going to take the other piece of card. So this piece of card is going to form our front, this bit here. This is my prototype. This is going to form this bit here, this that opens out. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this and we're going to score it. Now I think I probably need my bigger scoreboard for this. We're going to put it on the scoreboard and we're going to score it at, sorry, just need to get my instructions so I can see them. Don't want you to see them because my writing is terrible, as we have established in previous videos. So you're going to put this along the top with 12 across the top, okay, and you want to score it at 3 1/4 and 8 3/4. So we'll go to the 3 1/4 line, that's there, and we're going to go to the 8, is that 8? Yeah, 8 3/4. Okay, and then we're going to take this off and take it off. So in this time these are actually folds, so you're just going to fold these. Just make sure you kind of fold it so that it's shapely, so it lines up nicely. Fold it. Okay, so you can see here where they kind of overlap, okay, and that's because one of these is going to form your lower pocket, and the other is going to form just it, so it's going to be the back for the lower pocket. Okay, so sorry, the other thing you need to do is you need to score along. Once you've got it like this, put it onto your scoreboard. So let's just open this up so you understand where I am. So this is how we had it on the big scoreboard. We scored it here and here, so we scored it at 3 1/4 and 8 3/4. Now what we've done is we've just folded those round, turned it round, and we've decided which one of these do we want as the pocket. So we could have this as the pocket. Actually, that looks good like that as the pocket. So I'm going to have this as the pocket, and this is just going to be the background. Okay, so I'm going to put this on, and on down this side with it folded, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. Now I know it's hard to score through all of those layers, but you're not really scoring it. You don't need this top layer, it's just so you get a line on the bottom layer. Then what we're going to do, we're going to open it out and we're going to cut away this section and this section. Get my... Sorry, let me just move my rulers out of the way so I can get to my scissors. So we're just going to cut away and we're going to tab this back bit. So this piece is going to cut on an angle and this piece is going to cut on an angle. And then we're going to cut up on that that line. I'm sorry, I've just got to tilt it because I can't see where that line is otherwise. I might just go a little bit further in. Or not. My scissors choose not to. No, there you go. Okay, I'll just snip that out. And then do the same again on this side. So just cutting that fold off. There we go. So now what we want to do, those can go out the way. Just fold those over, and then we're going to fold this piece back. Okay, and then we're just going to fold that in, put a nice score line in there. Cool. Okay, so this is the bit where I'm going to ink, because that way then it'll cover up those any white bits you've got, a bit like me on holiday. And then we're going to take a divot out of here because this is our pocket. So you don't want to come too far down, because I just want to point out that you only have a certain amount of overlap. You have about, it's about 3/4 of an inch, I think, there. So you don't want to come too low down, otherwise you'll see the white bit. But you do have a bit to play with, so about 1/2 inch is fine. There's that. Right, there we go. And we're just going to ink that. As you know, I like it inky. And then around the sides and the bottom. And across this bit at the top. And down there. Okay, I'm just going to do the back as well. Don't need to do the tab, you're not going to see the tab, so you don't need to do the tab at all if you are going to ink it. Okay, so now what you need to do is you just need to kind of pay a bit of attention. So you're going to open it up, so we're going to light down, I'm going to have it like this. So this is the bottom part of the pocket, you're going to fold that open, and this is the top part of the pocket, and you fold that open. This top part, that's the bit without the divot, you're going to put a line of glue across this very side edge, and then you're going to fold it over and glue it down. Okay. Now I realise you haven't glued that side, and that's fine. We don't want you to glue that side at all. So stick that down, okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue all of this side, but only the overlap of this side. So what you might want to do is you might just want to come in, for those people aren't very good at eyeballing, you might want to come in where it overlaps, just put a bit of a pencil mark so that when you folded it out you can use that as your guide. So you can use that, just look at it, see where it is, might want to put a nail on it. So if I turn it around this way, that's where it is. So flip it over, put a line of glue just up to the top from that bit, and then all the way on this side, and then close that, and then just glue those two bits together there. And then what that does is it creates you this pocket here, so this becomes a pocket. I need something to shove in there, to shove in there, that's not very, here, let's just take this out. So this is a pocket here, but it also leaves you space for a pocket here. Okay, so just gives you that freedom. So once you've done that, then what we need to do is we just need to fold this bit over. Again, just make sure that folds in nicely. And now you can choose where you want this. So do you want it more centered in the middle? Do you want it a bit further lower down? Do you want it higher up the top? I like it just off center, just a little bit lower down, so that I can see this divot. Put it in place, open out the tab, and then just glue your tab down. Fold it over. So just press that down. Okay. So Then what? So Alyssa did it so that she put a divot in here and had a pocket here, but I wanted it so that I had a top feed pocket. As you'll see here, I've got a tag in at the top of mine. So I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to do it that way. So, but also, like I say, you could have it so that it's open like this way. So you've got an open bit here, okay? But I just wanted something so you could have more scope for a longer tag maybe. So we're going to go across the bottom and up the side. But there is no right or wrong. Or the only thing I haven't done is I need to put a divot in this bit. You don't need to, but I'm going to. Might not be in the middle because I'm not rushing now, but making sure that the glue doesn't dry out. So then just glue it down. I'm just going to tab that bit at the top so we don't have a very white bit. And then just pick up any white bits that you can see. And there we go, that's it. So we've got this pocket here. So I'm just going to show you where the pockets are. So we've got a pocket here. We've got a pocket here. Here. We've got these pockets here, which, there you go, 3 separate pockets here. Okay, and then we've got this pocket at the back for a tag, and that's it. So thank you again to Alyssa. Might be worth checking out some of her videos, and that's it. So I've another one sheet wonder down. So this is the 50 folio, and if you liked it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. 50 one sheet wonders, that's got to be great value for money. So there we go. So that's the one I made as a sample, and that's the one I made along with Alyssa. So thank you very much. My name is Dash of Dave, and guess what? I love you all, without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much to everybody. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye. Bye.